Hi guys, welcome to MSC Kids.
My name's Madeline.
My name's Elena.
Today we're going to be talking about a real life.
Let's get into it.
Welcome to MSC Kids Online.
You're powerful. You're unshakable. You're powerful. You're unshakable. You shake me. You break me. You make me whole again. Your nature. Unchanging, all fails, but you remain. You're powerful. You're unshakable. You're powerful. You're unshakable. You shake me. You break me. You make me whole again. Your nature, unchanging, all fails, but you remain. You're powerful. You're unshakable. You're powerful. You're unshakable. You're powerful. You're powerful. You're powerful. You're powerful.
In my wrestling and in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. In the silence, you won't let go. In the questions, your truth will hold. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. I won't fear what tomorrow brings. With each morning I'll rise and sing. My God's love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are my light, my lighthouse, shining in the darkness. I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Safe to
Let love be genuine. Abhor what is evil. Hold fast to what is good.
Hey, Brandon. I made some chocolate chip cookies. Do you want to try one?
Oh, I would love to try one. Are these them?
Yeah, they're kind of hot.
Okay,
So
okay.
maybe blow on it before you stick it in your mouth. I'm so excited for you to try them. Oh no, what happened?
I'm sorry, Kim. I really don't mean to be rude, but what did you put in these cookies? They taste really bad.
Well, I followed the recipe.
Are you sure they taste
Brown
super
sugar,
salty?
eggs. Oh. I switched the amount of baking powder with the amount of salt. So I put in like 2 teaspoons of salt and only a half a teaspoon of baking powder. That's why they tasted disgusting. Oh, I'll have to make another batch.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
No, don't worry about it.
They look so good and smell so good.
They do, but you know,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter if they look good on the outside. If they don't taste good on the inside, then
That's true.
they're not going to be a good cookie.
That's true.
You know, actually, it's kind of like our lives. We actually hear about this in the book of Matthew. In the book of Matthew, it's called hypocrisy, right? When our inside doesn't look like our outside. We're going to be learning about that today. Let's go check it out in the book of Matthew.
In Matthew 23, verses 1 through 3. Then Jesus said to the crowds and to his disciples, "The teachers of religious law and the Pharisees are the official interpreters of the law of Moses. So practice and obey whatever they tell you, but don't follow their example, for they don't practice what they teach."
You see, guys, in Matthew 23, verse 23 and 24, it says, "Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, you hypocrites! For you tithe mint and dill and cumin, and have neglected the weightier matters of the law, justice and mercy and faithfulness. These you ought to have done, without neglecting the others." But hear this, you guys ready for this? "You blind guides, straining out a gnat and swallowing a camel." You see, guys, these Pharisees of the law, these guys were supposed to be the ones that were doing good, right? And basically what they did is they had their water, and you know what a tiny little gnat is? It was meant to be one of the most unclean of the animals. And so what they had to do is they had to strain their water to make sure that no gnats were even in their water. But yet, when they did that, they would still eat a camel without straining that. Isn't that crazy? It's kind of like they saw the tiny little issues in their lives and they made them a big deal. But Jesus was saying, no, don't make those tiny things a big deal if you're not going to make the big things in your life an even bigger deal. So it's kind of like that, right? Where let's not strain a tiny little detail in our life, like a gnat, out of our water, when we're not willing to be able to think of the big issues in our lives, those sins that we deal with, and fix those first. Let's go check out another analogy. You see, Jesus had another example of this. In Matthew 23, verse 25, it keeps on saying, "Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you clean the outside of the cup and the plate, but inside they are full of greed and self-indulgence." Kind of like what Kim has doing here. She's got the cup all clean on the outside, but the inside is still filthy dirty. So even though it looks clean, it's not on the inside. Here, Kim, let's finish that. You see, boys and girls, when we clean the rest of ourselves, we get rid of that hypocrisy. We are fully clean, right? Our inside and our outside look the exact same. Let's check back on that coffee cup real fast. Now that Kim has cleaned all of it, it looks clean on the outside and on the inside. You see, guys, that's what we need to do in our lives. But we're not coffee mugs, are we? We're not camels or gnats. We don't have to worry about things like that. So why do you think it matters for us today? Well, let's look at it. So guys, we heard a lot of stories today from the book of Matthew. Jesus was really calling out these Pharisees, wasn't he? In the story where the Pharisees were basically told, like, you're gonna filter water with gnats in it before you filter out what you eat with the camel. Or later on in Matthew, where it was talking about you're gonna clean the outside of the cup before you clean the inside of the cup. He really wants us to know that we need to be pure of heart, right? That we can't be hypocrites in our own lives. Now, when are some opportunities when you are a hypocrite in your life? Maybe it's when you're talking with your parents. Do you maybe speak differently to one parent versus the other? I know when I was growing up, I would always go to my mom first, and if my mom said no, who would I go to? You go to dad, right? You see, that's kind of being a little bit of a hypocrite too. I know it's kind of weird, right? But you're being a hypocrite because you're going against your parents, and what you're telling them is, no, I'm gonna be a perfect little angel for one of you guys, but not for the other. That's being a hypocrite. Maybe it's at school. Do you guys go to school? Yeah? Maybe when you're at school, you act one way, and then when you come to church, you're completely different. With our PSLs, we talk about this a lot, right? Where what we're doing in the front stage when people are watching is completely different than what happens in the backstage. Maybe when you're at home, you're really, really mean to your brothers and your sisters, but then when you're outside at the grocery store, you're very, very nice and respectful. That's being a hypocrite. And God tells us that we need to work on that. And just like how when we filter out the gnats, and the Pharisees were filtering out the gnats, it's the same for us. Those small things in our lives matter, but the big things in our lives matter even more. So don't ignore the little things. Don't ignore the big things. Let God be the center of your life. Well, guys, thanks for joining us. Let's go see how Kim is doing with those cookies.
Hey, they smell good. I hope they taste
Oh,
good.
Kim.
Oh,
Are these your second batch?
Yep, I made some more cookies. Do you
Okay,
want to try
I would
them?
love to try one. Here we
Okay.
go. Here we go.
Wash your fingers.
Oh, Kim, these are amazing.
Yes.
You see, when you got the recipe down and you focused on what was on the inside, the outside, it comes together beautifully.
Thank you. I'm
Yep,
so excited that
yep.
I got the ingredients right this time.
Well, good. Well, hey, kids, just like as a cookie, let's make sure that we are just as beautiful on the inside as the outside. All right, let's work on that as we go off this week. Bye, guys.
I've been lost in the shadows, in the valley of despair, in the middle of a battle where I've never been more scared. But I believe that you see my struggle, I believe that you know my pain. So when I'm tired, when I'm lost, when I'm broken, and when I'm afraid, I give up. I give up my cares to you. I give up. I give up my cares to you. I can walk in the freedom, knowing you are strong enough to take my burdens. Oh God, I lift them up. I believe that you see my struggle, I believe that you know my pain. So when I'm tired, when I'm lost, when I'm broken, and when I'm afraid, I give up. I give up my cares to you. I give up. I give up my cares to you. There's no fear, no doubt in your name, for you have promised you'll make a way. There's no fear, no doubt in your name, for you have promised you'll make a way. I give up, I give up my cares to you. I give up. I give up
backstage importance in real life.
Please join us next week for more.
Bye, guys.